Here. Perfect. So we right now use the Alientech pg3 for customers. Okay, contrary to what the Canadians have posted, we do not use a clone device because we have to buy the devices from Alientech and send them to you. Now, here's my decoder device. This is what's customer's computer that if you did a stage 1 on this computer and someone else did a stage 2. Now, when we sent someone the pg3 in order to remote tune their vehicle, they got an invalid file error. Or not an invalid file, just a write error. We couldn't write it. Now, most people don't realize a copy of the file that's on this computer. What the pg3 does is it finds a calibration ID and it sends me a FCA factory original file that matches the calibration ID. Now, if your vehicle is stock and has never been tuned, that is perfect because that is going to be probably the exact file that you have. Up until recently, where we found that some of the new factory calibration IDs are not matching the files that we are getting from Alientech because of changes at the dealership that are not transferring over properly. Now, this computer, once in, I read the computer, and once the computer was read, we found a assload of changes that don't match the computer. Now, those changes were made by GDE. They have a habit of just changing a lot of things on the computer that don't do anything at all, and are completely unnecessary. And then you had someone else tune it after that, and more than likely they changed a bunch of unnecessary crap too. So this computer has a whole ton of code in it that does not match the factory calibration ID. Now, if some of the code is changed on the map side and the EEPROM side, and this customer was like, you know what, I'm going to return my product, return my vehicle to where it was before, and move on with my life, we would flash the Mopar original file on this, which means this computer will not match the original EEPROM, and more than likely the computer won't start. Now, we've had one vehicle that is where he's complaining about us because his truck became a lawn ornament. His truck became a lawn ornament because his original file was a modified file, and he returned the vehicle to stock using an incorrect file, and was not willing to wait for Alientech to help fix the issue. Now, when we went to write this computer with the correct original file to send it back to the customer, we were not able to write it through the bench, which is how we plug into here. We do the bench tuning, and it wouldn't write with the pg3 through OBD2 tuning. The only way to write this computer right now is through bootloading. Now, the bootloading means we take the cover off. Now, if you look at this here, I don't know how well this camera's gonna look. Somebody was in here with a screwdriver and already took this cover off, which was more than likely the second person, because now GDE does the same thing, but they must heat their computers up because there's a lot less damage to them when they take them apart. Now, this computer, as of right now, you cannot write through here, which means that I'm replacing this customer's computer with a different computer that he can write with this pg3. Apparently my phone didn't like that. Now, this computer will get taken apart and it'll get bootloaded, and we will flash the original file that should have been on this computer from the factory first. Once that file is on this computer, we will attempt to tune it again through the bench tuning it. Now, if it works, that information will be sent to Alientech to help them out. Now, we are trying to send as much information as possible to Alientech as well, so that way we can help prevent issues in the future. We've had a lot of weird random issues with the pg3 handhelds, not really related to direct issues from Alientech and not really related to direct issues with the customer. A lot of them issues have been just combined weird things. software glitches, people unplugging things, people having computers tuned by 2 or 3 people. What we're trying to do is get Alientech to, instead of sending virtual reads, to send us actual reads of the actual file on this computer. Meaning that way, if you ever want to go back to stock and this computer's tuned, you'll be able to go back to the original tune that was on the computer. Now, not saying that that's a common thing, because once you have tuning that you like, you don't ever want to revert it to stock. The problem that we run into, sorry, I got my phone charger plugged into this phone. The problem that we run into is that sometimes the computer has information that's crossed between the EEPROM and the map files that is 100% pertinent that they're run together. If it is not done properly, things won't work. Cruise control, proximity sensors, adaptive cruise control, things like that. So this video was basically just to kind of explain a little bit of some of the problems that we can or have run into using the Alientech stuff. Now, anytime that there's a major issue where it just seems like, well, what the hell, we can't figure it out, all you have to do is send me the computer and we can do it the old school way. Justin sent me his computer last week, and it mid-write, something went wrong, and it bricked the computer, and the computer was dead in the water. Justin sent me the computer, and we basically reflashed the files on it in person and sent Justin a new updated file for his handheld, and the business like there wasn't anything wrong. So, and sometimes we have to do that, which is unfortunate. And sometimes I have extra computers on hand where I can flash a computer and send it to you. It's just easier to use your actual computer, because then we can clone it at the same time. So anytime there's a big issue, it can be fixed. That is you're completely screwed on by any means. Because we can make a clone of your computer, or we can take a computer and match the files to what is supposed to be on your truck and send it to you to swap out, and you can plug it in and use the handheld with that computer. So none of that has really been an issue per se. Now, the pg3 handhelds, I know they've been kind of slow and they seem kind of glitchy, but we've been working real hard with Alientech trying to fix any bugs that come out. So not only am I talking to support in Italy, as well, I'm also talking to my representative here in the United States, and basically when a major problem shows up, or a problem shows up that I don't feel like I'm getting enough support on, I message them the details as well, so that way we have our US Alientech support over in Italy, and then myself working to figure out what the problem could be, to get it fixed or solved. Also, for those of you who don't know, the Gen 3 EcoDiesel is on their radar for the handheld tuning. They have not finished it yet, but they have all the files ready to go. They're just working on the software to get the handheld, which are these, to work on the Gen 3s, which is the 2020 plus vehicles. So they will have these eventually. But for those of you who don't want to wait for it, I keep computers on hand, so computers are not the same. This is 2020 Plus, Gladiator, Wrangler, Ram, and this is the Jeep and Ram old EcoDiesel. You can see there's a lot more PCM here. And I have computers everywhere. I got like 20, 30 computers laying around, which I would prefer not to, but it's easier that way to keep, to make sure that everyone has something ready to go and to be able to fix any issues that come up. So I think that's all I really wanted to say, was that, we're working directly with Alientech on to fix some of the bugs that we've been running into with the pg3s, while at the same time helping to make the pg3 experience a little bit better. Also, reporting any special issues that only I've run into or only the people with eco diesels have run into to them. And then the last of all is that they are working on the Gen 3 2020 plus eco diesels as well. So we'll have tuning through there as well. And we will have some HV tuner stuff available, but the HV tuner stuff is more in-person stuff. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't really figured out if I want to do any of the HV tuner stuff remotely or not, because I like to do it in person, so that way I have my software with me, so that way if there's any issues with the HV tuners, we could unfuck whatever the HV tuners messed up. But it's getting late. I'm gonna go to bed. Gotta get up early in the morning and do this again. Also, the town I'm in, we do have a small private shop as well. So anyone that wants to bring their Gen 3s or any of their eco diesels to us to have work on, get the emission stuff worked on, have a bigger turbo installed, have a turbo. God damn. Have the turbo replaced, have the cam come off for any reason, just let me know. We just installed the lift today. I got another eco diesel that I bought for a test vehicle, so I'm going to be pulling the cab off that to replace the motor on it here soon. We have a bunch of shelving that we're going to stock motor parts on. We're probably going to have an entire shelf just of emissions related parts, EGRs, sensors, SCRs, things like that. That way, when people are having issues with them and they want to keep their emissions, they can buy those from us. And we'll have a total of 3 or 4 motors stripped down and all the parts for them out on the shelf. And we're going to be having 2 test trucks running. We're building a 3rd eco diesel truck, and then we're going to be working on some different designs for motor parts and things like that as well. I haven't fully decided what we're going to do, but we do have a regular cab truck and a few other car bodies laying around that we want to make a project with. We just haven't decided on it yet. I just know that we have a regular cab short box 1500, and we're planning to either put an eco diesel in it or put a Cummins in it, so we're undecided. If anyone has any ideas, feel free to message me. The plasma will be up and running in the next few weeks, and once that's running, a lot of the kit parts we will make ourselves, so that way we will make the parts the way that we would like them and make them a little bit easier for the customers to install. Not really sure yet how much of the exhaust stuff we're going to make ourselves. We might make the Gen 3 stuff ourselves in-house. I have a full Gladiator emissions equipment laying in the shop right now to use to make a jig with for the Gladiator, at least. I do need to get my hands on a Ram and a Wrangler to do the exact same thing. So, but like I said, I'm gonna head to bed. If anyone has any ideas or questions, let me know. Also, like I said, we are looking to hire a salesperson, and if somebody's good with coding at all, I'm looking to hire someone to do coding. But like I said, everybody have a good night.